Radiant. When I was in lower rank, I used to think to myself, wow, Radiant players are like otherworldly beings. They're perfect creatures that just can never do any wrong. Sort of like gods, Jedi, Hashira, or something. And while they are humans, they are extremely good Valorant players. If you are Radiant, you've been playing the game a ton, have a good understanding of the meta, and most importantly, your mental is probably in tip-top shape. But when I say that Radiant players have a good understanding of the game, I mean that they really have a good understanding of the game. And I know a lot of you guys have goals to hit that rank someday. So I figured today it'd be a good idea to go over and really demonstrate how much better Radiant players truly are. First, before we talk about anything else, I need to get one point across. I've played with a ton of Radiants, and the one thing that's always amazed me about them is the fact that their mentals are just insanely strong. In lower ranks, if someone has a bad game, they're probably going to get made fun of for it, or probably get the loss pinned on them. But if you're playing with the Radiant players, nobody does that. They understand that people just have bad games. Maybe this is due to the fact that everyone in this rank sort of knows that everyone should be there. But still, they also don't get mad at themselves for misplaying, whiffing, or just messing up. They just shut up, worry about the next round, and let the mistake just pass by. If you let these things affect you, whether it's your poor gameplay or your teammates, you're putting yourself in a bad mental state that isn't going to help you win the round. So, if you want to hit Radiant, the first thing you need to work on is your own mental strength. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's talk about some more of the fun stuff. So clutching is a big part in Valorant. It's where most people get that adrenaline from, and why a lot of people love playing this game, and Radiants do it extremely well. It's a thing of beauty, really, how they play some of these rounds out. Let's listen to one break one of theirs down.
I'm kind of in a crunch time here in 25 seconds, so I need to make a quick play here. One thing I do want to point out is I am one away from my Sage ult. So I need to look for this 1v1. If I get this 1v1, I get Sage ult, make it into a 2v2. And so you're going to see how I'm actively looking for a 1v1. I noticed this Omen just died, or my Omen just died, so I need to look to make a play. And so you can see I was able to look for that 1v1. The reason why I didn't swing even more out, or wide swing even wider into hell, is because I noticed instantly in my minimap when my Omen died that when he died here, I noticed that one player was in hell and then one player was in Raptors. So you can see how I was looking for this Raptors player, right? I'm not trying to look for this hell player, because if I try to look for the hell player, I'm swinging too wide where, yes, I could maybe take a fight with this hell player, but I'm also exposing myself to Raptors, right? So kind of look at as which person will you take first contact with, right? That will be the person that you want to try to isolate 1v1 with. And so as soon as I get that kill, I have res. And you see how I notice instantly I have this res. It doesn't matter who I res. I just want to res whoever is closest to me so they could help me out.
Jaden's clutch from our new Radiant Clutch course on our website perfectly demonstrates the mindset you need to have when trying to clutch up. Like he said, if you want to win any clutch, your number one thing you're going to want to focus on is isolating your 1v1s. This is not an easy skill to have, but it's something you need to have if you want to hit Radiant. These rounds are huge momentum shifters, and knowing how to clutch can single-handedly win you games. Now, let's watch the rest of Jaden's clip.
So my Cypher camps here. He looks at Raptors and he sees the Reyna all the way deep into Raptors, not really pushed out, so I can feel safe when I plant this bomb to fall back, right? I fall back to a better position. Right. And so you can see close to the wall, I'm playing kind of safe here. I don't want to swing yet. I want to run down the timer as much as possible. As the time runs down more and more for the attackers, for the defenders, they get pressured, right? And so we want to understand isolating 1v1s and applying pressure throughout these situations. And so you can see how I already kind of noticed that the Cypher had the idea wanting to peek out, but I did not want to peek out. I wasn't in a position to peek out, right? And so he takes this 1v1 and he loses. Right, and so you can see how I look back because I think he's breaking the wall, but I ignore it because I want to look for this 1v1, right? I know this Reyna is probably low after fighting my Cypher at least a little bit, and so when I know she's low, I walked up until the point where I'm about to swing, and I swing out. And you can see how I run swing and kill this Reyna when she's actually dropping down. Mid-drop, I get her. And just like that, a 1v3 becomes into a 1v1 just like that. And so knowing that this guy, I think my teammate here calls it 130. So I back up, play for my distance.
140, 130.
And so you can see how I'm holding the angle. I give up the angle to Slow Orb because I know he's going to try to pre-fire me, right? In situations where the enemies are 1 HP, they have to look for a miracle play where they have to try to like pre-fire you in a common angle where they think you are. And so I don't want them to pre-fire me, and I don't want to play in a common angle. So I Slow Orb, and you can see how I'm playing in a not very common angle where I'm kind of like out in the open, not a really common angle you'll see. And you can see how he has to swing into my Slow Orb. He's pressured, he's 1 HP. There's a Slow Orb on top of him, and he has to defuse bomb. And so you can see how he swung into my Slow Orb. I was able to take that 1v1 and win that, right?
Let's go!
And yeah, and that's how you clutch those situations. The main idea from this clip is look for your 1v1s, right? Play around your teammates, or try to play off of your teammates' information. And off of those information, you can figure out, okay, where can I look for this 1v1 and capitalize off of that, right? And so try to capitalize off of your teammates' mistake. Even though my Cypher took this 1v1 and kind of died, I capitalized off of it because he softened up Reyna, so I could take that 1v1, which allowed me to create the final 1v1 in this situation.
Being able to stay calm and collected during clutches is a skill that takes time and a lot of practice to master, and Jaden in this course demonstrates it so well. Next, if you want to hit Radiant, you're going to want to master the agent that you're playing. Granted, not all the time you're going to be playing your main, as someone else might lock them faster than you can, but when you are playing your preferred role, you want to have it mastered, down to a T, inside and out. For example, I'm an Immortal 3 Cypher main that plays against Radiants all the time, and this is what a Radiant Cypher setup would look like. Line up this one-way cage like this,
Run on short.
with some tripwires like so, play in lamps, and you're good to go. Now, I guarantee you that most of you guys haven't seen this setup before. Well, this is because I've just about mastered Cypher, and this is a setup that works really well in these Immortal and Radiant lobbies. Another example would be a Jet main knowing their timing of when to start and execute onto the bomb site. This would be when someone's tagged by a Sova drone, or Sky's dog made it all the way into sight without issue, or it stunned somebody. Or knowing how to work a kill somewhere, and knowing what you need from your teammates to set you up for a kill, for an opening pick, for a first blood. Or another example of mastering your agent would be something like Sova mains having shock lineups for default plant spots, or recon arrow lineups for each map, for each site. For example, these two Sova arrows are going to be from Sova mains who have studied and poured a lot of hours into their agent, both in and out of a custom game. When climbing to Radiant, you're going to be facing the best of the best, and any advantage you can give yourself, especially some nerdy lineups, can give you the upper hand. I promise. Next, something you hear a lot in Radiant lobbies is each other. You'd be really surprised to see how much people talk to each other. Well, like most of the time. Communication is extremely important in this game. I mean, it is a tactical shooter. Tactical means tactics, strategy. I mean, you can't do any of those without talking. And now you might be rolling your eyes at me like, Teats, duh, yes, we know how to talk to each other. Why you explain this to us? Well, here's what Radiant comms sound like. This is a clip from T1 Steel's stream. Just listen to that clip. Like, close your eyes. Focus on nothing but what they're telling each other.
I'm dead.
Killer. Jab was half wall.
Yeah, I'm planting.
Okay.
Wall down in 2 seconds. Wall down.
Flash is CZ.
Spawn chamber.
Oh, nest. 2 spawn, 1 nest. Oh my god, chill.
That's dead.
And a CT.
Bring smokes up so we stop fighting, bro.
You think that's gonna stop me, dude?
Dude.
I'm on Reyna.
Yeah, it's bad.
Do you understand how much useful information this is? Now, let me show you a clip from one of the VODs that you guys submitted.
Shadows traveling. Who's next? No way.
I'm sure you guys can tell the difference between the two clips. In Steel's clip, his team is talking about literally everything. It sounds like a skirmish. They're talking about where the enemy is, Sova's telling people where he's darting, Viper's talking about when his wall's dropping, Steel even talks about when he's going to start throwing them around. These things are so valuable and underrated for your team, and this information could be the difference as to whether or not your team wins the round. And if you watch the other clip, no one is saying anything. Literally, nothing. How are you supposed to figure out if you're running into a stack if no one is sharing information? How can Sova or Omen use their utility for their teammates without talking to each other? There's quite literally zero downside to talking to each other. Besides, maybe, I don't know, you're shy? But eventually you'll get over it, break in and start talking to your team more. So why, yes, you might roll your eyes when I say communication is super important, but some of you don't realize how vital it is to your team's success. And now, yes, Radiants really know how to use their weapons. They have some of the best mechanics in the game, but believe it or not, they weren't born with these skills. Having good mechanics comes from a lot, and I mean a lot of practice. My Radiant friend Snoopy told me that he used to play deathmatches for about 4 hours a day, and he played them to the point that he just never thought about his aim ever again. It now just comes naturally to him, and because of his elite skills, he can just focus on his game sense, rotations, and everything else. Now, while 4 hours might be a little too much, what I'm saying is that Radiants grind this game like it's their passion, and put a lot of care into how they're practicing. That's why a lot of the times when you look at the leaderboard, most of Radiant lobbies are filled with pros, people who are quite literally getting paid to play the game. So I'm not going to go too in depth on how you should be training your aim, but we have a lot of videos breaking down how you can. So I highly recommend you check those out. But you should be focusing on your mechanical skill because you can't always rely on your teammates to do the right things all of the time. Communicating properly, good utility usage, rotations, none of these things are guaranteed in ranked. But the one thing that is your own mechanical ability. But this was all just one in-depth guide that we have on our website though. Also, like I mentioned before, if you want a chance at having your VOD reviewed, be sure to subscribe on our website at SkillCapped.com. We also have tons of Radiant Smurf commentaries where we have Radiant players walk you through exactly how to play in any situation at any rank. And they're just super helpful to see in real time what goes through a top tier player's head. Like I said, it's also backed by a rank improvement guarantee, and the reason we do that is because we are just that confident that our service works. And if it doesn't work, then you shouldn't pay. So what are you waiting for? You got nothing to lose. Head on over to SkillCapped.com and get started on your way to that rank that you deserve. So, hopefully I helped you guys realize what it's really going to take if you want to be Radiant. Valorant is these people's passion, and if you want to join them, you're going to have to take this game very seriously. Studying, practicing, and pushing to better yourself every single game and every single day. But if they can do it, so can you. Like if you watched our overpeaking video that came out the other day, that Sky in that video was Radiant at one point. So like, yeah, if she can get there, you guys can too. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It really does help us out. And that's all for us. I'm Teets, and we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.